your Storm Tracker 18 weather.
Big changes are coming to the Chippewa Valley. In fact, we've got a large system approaching us, and that's going to do several things. First, it's going to give us a pleasant day tomorrow. That is looking very nice. So wind's going to be out of the south, but not too strong yet. There will be a pretty strong cold front, though, for the evening. That'll pop up some stronger storms that we're keeping a very close eye on. Then the wind is going to get very strong as it ushers in this cold air behind it. So a lot happening because of a very strong storm displacing a lot of air, bringing the warm air north and the cold air south. The warm air tomorrow could break a record. In fact, my forecast, which I actually think is a conservative forecast of 56, upper 50s near 60 can't be ruled out. Record high for the date is 54. That is a 127-year-old record. It has stood since 1894. Then, after that warmth, and by the way, that warmth comes with a little bit of humidity, too. No, it won't be humid, but dew points in the 50s, which for December is really high. And then that cold front moves through with the chance for strong storms. Strongest chance still in the level 2 risk area to the southwest of Eau Claire. The point goes just a little bit north of Elk Mound, then it goes to the west, south of 94, and almost straight south through Pepin and Buffalo County. The rest of us in this level 1 risk. Either way, scattered, isolated, severe storms are possible, especially later in the day tomorrow. And with those, that comes these threats, and it does include tornadoes, a lower risk, but in Wisconsin, especially this far north, there are very few times, even in severe weather season, where we have much more than a lower and an increasing area for risk for tornadoes. So it's about as decent of a chance as we get for much of the year, not alone in December. Straight line wind gusts are almost likely because there's going to be a lot of wind anyways, and the thunderstorm just has to push the air just a little bit faster to get it above that 58-mile-an-hour criteria. 58 miles an hour, by the way, is exactly 50 knots. That's where the threshold is set. That's why it seems like a random number, but it's not. Damaging hail, not a big deal, and flash flood only in areas where the melting snow might clog some drains and grates, but I don't think that's going to cause a huge issue. After that system passes, which will be generally in the 7 to 10 o'clock range, the winds will pick up even stronger, and we could have severe wind gusts, perhaps when there's no thunderstorms around, late in the overnight towards very early Thursday morning. So for that reason, a high wind warning is in effect for all of western Wisconsin. 6 p.m. tomorrow to 6 in the morning on Thursday. Gusts over 60. Large trucks could be flipped. Power outages also a possibility from that, not just from the thunderstorms, but from that wind that remains for several hours after all of that. So Futurecast quickly going through the timing here. A few sprinkles during the day tomorrow, but even by 4 o'clock, not a big deal. Here comes the storms, though, by 7 to 9 o'clock, moving into western Wisconsin, and maybe some snow departing, but we should be on the dry side of that system. Tonight's low is actually, well, right now we're kind of warming up to low 40s by tomorrow morning. 56, perhaps even warmer tomorrow afternoon. Showers possible, but it's really the evening that sees those strong thunderstorms that could become severe. Then we get those storms overnight and that strong wind gusts overnight. It'll continue on Thursday, but not quite as strong. That brings a huge temp drop, big wind chills before settling back into a winter-like pattern.
A lot to be aware of tomorrow.
Yeah, it really is. So we'll keep you updated throughout the day, and you'll want to be watching for sure.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Now, your Storm Tracker 18 weather.
Western Wisconsin does not see this level of a severe risk that often, even in severe season. So this time of year, absolutely unprecedented. This red area, level 4 of 5 risk, meaning that widespread severe storms are likely. Eau Claire, much of the Chippewa Valley in the orange area too. Numerous severe storms are expected with scattered severe storms in the yellow area. So certainly we're going to see them losing strength as they move through, but they're still going to be packing quite the punch. Right now, the storm's still ways away. You have to go through a lot of Iowa yet where the center of that risk is, but they're moving very fast. Some storms are moving at speeds of 100 miles per hour, not putting out 100-mile-an-hour winds. That's how fast they're moving. So it might seem like some storms are coming out of nowhere tonight, but they're not. They're just moving that quickly across western Wisconsin. Our biggest threat is the straight line wind gusts. Some of those could exceed 80 miles per hour. Can't rule out tornadoes mixed in either, but even if they do, they're going to have winds very similar to severe straight line wind gusts. That would be similar impacts regardless. So I'm not caring so much tonight of whether or not we're calling things tornadoes or severe thunderstorms. You see any warning tonight, they're going to have a lot of issues moving through. Currently, it's just scattered showers across western Wisconsin. No lightning detected here yet, but these storms way down here in the far bottom left of your corner that are moving in, that is where we're seeing a lot of lightning pop up on radar, the strongest storms, a lot of, in fact, almost a continuous line of tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings right now in western Iowa, all eventually moving our way as we go through. So here's the line where it is right now, and look at this, 5:30 to 8:30, so 3 hours. It crosses Iowa and southern Minnesota and arrives here. Broken line of strong storms. They're going to move through quick, so brief burst of heavy rain, very strong wind gusts, and again, perhaps some tornadoes inside there. Once that passes, we could even see some snow in our northern areas. I'm not even going to spend any time on that because that is the least of our worries. The straight line winds beyond that are what we're going there. So let's look at the differences here. Severe thunderstorms tonight could pop up 80-mile-an-hour winds, 60 to 80. The straight line, the non-thunderstorm winds that follow long after these storms are gone, between 45 and 65. So it is lower, but here are a couple key differences. Covers a lot more area, up to 200 miles, but usually on the range of tens of miles in both width, length, usually a lot shorter in severe thunderstorms. But the time, too. So, yes, we could see higher wind speeds here, but for a couple of minutes. We're going to see just a little bit lower winds for a few hours tonight after this first line is done. Again, we're getting a mix of both of these throughout the night tonight as we go through. So a lot going on there. Currently, the wind gusts not here, not a big deal, but they will be getting here. Here's Futurecast for winds. They're out of the south ahead of the system. Here comes the strong severe storm wind gusts around between 8 and 10 o'clock. And then once it's through, storms are no longer around. Look how widespread the area of 40s and 50s is through the rest of the night. That's why I'm so concerned, and it's so hard to tell what that's going to do to our infrastructure as we go forward. So, forecast tonight. Temperatures will be falling very quickly, too, once this is all said and done. Severe strength wind gusts even after those strong storms depart. Those gusts 40 to 60 miles an hour or greater. Tomorrow's high temperature is not much warmer, 28 degrees. Any moisture on the roads could still flash freeze. Watch for that. And still windy throughout the day, just not as strong. Beyond that, the forecast is much more typical for this time of the year. We're not going to spend much time on this long-range forecast. A couple slight chances for precip, some colder temps. But again, secure anything down outside. You've got those Christmas decorations, holiday decorations, lawn furniture. Secure them, bring them inside. This is hours of wind, not just the quick storms that'll be moving through, that too.
And Matt, you said the whole Storm Tracker 18 weather team is going to be here tonight monitoring these storms?
Yeah, Justin will be coming back in. Kyle's here already. All three of us are here. That's what we're thinking about this. It's just unprecedented. Leaves usually act as parachutes in straight line wind gusts, help pull the trees down, but they're not on the trees. Trees also tend to be more brittle when it's cold. How that factors, never been studied. Never been studied.
Well, a lot to handle here. All right, thanks, Matt.